What's up, YouTube? We're doing this one more time. I'm going to come at you live because I just figured this webcam thing out, so I'm going to be doing a lot more posting. And here we go. As you know, I moved abroad. Okay, I moved down here to Panama about 2.5 years ago. Now, let me tell you guys something, a little something about living outside of the U.S. First of all, I came down here because my wife is from Panama, and prior to that I'm originally from the East Coast, DC metropolitan area. I'm recently moved from Florida and then down here to Panama after I started traveling to Central America and all. Met my wife, attorney. We tried to live in the United States, didn't want to live there, so she decided to move down here. Now, her life has been pretty normal. I mean, growing up in her country, I mean, living in her country, working here, I mean, I guess everything is good. For me, it's been a little different because my expectations were, I thought I was going to be living the same quality lifestyle I was living in the United States. But even though I guess you're living quality standards for Latin America, being that, you know, Panama is a very developed country, as far as South and Central America goes, it's pretty developed. It's got more like the feel of Miami here in Panama City, the outskirts, the rural areas, different provinces like David, Cherokee, and Boquete and stuff like that. More mountainous, a little bit more rural, but we're living here in the Panama City. Here's the thing I don't understand about Latin America. A country like this is highly industrialized. Not really industrialized because there's not really industry here. Mainly, this country has developed because of the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal was, of course, a project that started in 1904. It was taken over by the United States after the French attempted to build a canal, something that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean and vice versa. Basically, the whole idea of the canal is a short commerce route for goods and services to be transferred from the Atlantic to the Pacific without having to go all the way down around South America on the coast of Argentina, then back up. So basically, the high commerce for Panama is the Panama Canal. Other than that, this country doesn't produce much other than maybe, you know, I don't know, livestock, maybe meat, agriculture, flowers, shit like that. It doesn't really produce anything electronically or major or automobile industry. There's none of that shit here. The main source of income here is mainly the Panama Canal. That's what put this country on the map. If it wasn't for the canal or geographically being located in a situation in the globe that is a short route from one ocean to another. So that's what they capitalize on here. Now, being that, there is a lot of goods and services here. When you go into Panama, you're going to see, basically flying into Panama City, you're going to see basically the coastline or the skyline, just like flying into Miami or any major city in the U.S., pretty much. But once you land here, you're going to figure out that the inner city is much as Latino America as anything else. So basically what you have here in Panama is a growing development here because of the commerce here, because of the Panama Canal, the free zone and stuff like that, the commerce, the imports, the export, but you still have a Latino mindset. Okay, you still have a Latino mindset, even though it's highly developed. You'll go around to one of these major malls, you're going to see all the major outlets, anything from Cartier to Gucci to Thomas Pink, Louis Vuitton. You're going to see all that here, but the mindset here is still Latin America. So what you're going to experience here, because so many people are from outside doing business in Panama, so many people are outside doing business, so you have a very large Asian culture, particularly Chinese. You have a very large Jewish culture. You have a very large European culture, Canadian business, North American U.S. business, Brazilian, Colombians. I mean, you're going to have a lot of that doing business here in Panama. So what you're going to have a close multicultural, like, salad bowl here of very major cultures intermingling together. And not only that, you're going to have traditional Panamanians. I mean, you're going to have, you know, Latin Panamanians, you're going to have the Cholos, you're going to have the native Panamanians, you're going to have black Panamanians and stuff like that. And everybody has a different background and culture here. So you're going to have a conglomerate of various different cultures from all walks of life, whether you're native to this country, whether you came here to work on the canal, whether you came here just to work or work with the free zone or the canal, anything. You're going to have a large conglomerate of people here together, which is going to really make this place very strange to get along in. Okay, you're going to see a wide spectrum of different types of things going on here. You're going to see people riding around here in very expensive cars. You're going to see people riding on horses around here. I'm serious. I mean, even in the city, you're going to see, and it's not really just for a tourist thing or anything. You're going to actually see somebody on horseback, and then you're going to see somebody probably riding behind him in a Porsche, and it's very culture shocking. You're going to get all these high levels of people down here, and these people are not going to be working together. You're going to have a person down here that's probably going to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and you're going to have somebody down here probably making maybe $400 or $500 a month. And as a matter of fact, that is the average income here, is around $500 or $600 a month, even for a professional. A professional that speaks English is going to make around $800 a month. A professional that speaks Spanish is going to make around $800 a month. Whether you went to the university for 4 years or not, it's not going to make a difference. But here's the irony about that. Even though the average payout is anywhere from $500 to $800 a month, for a professional working 40 hours a week, the cost of living is just as expensive as living in any major city in the United States. So that's what I do not get about this place, because when I came down here, you know, I had a very hard time, but, you know, I had a little bit of savings, and I was able to maintain for about a year and a half before I actually needed real money. And I mean, my wife and I, we started several businesses that did not take off. We went in everything from administration work to maintenance work to excavation work, and nothing really panned out. So at some point I did look for a job here, and it was just embarrassing. It was really embarrassing. I mean, at one point I did try to take a job here, and it was just embarrassing, you know, to get up at 5:30 in the morning, leave the house by 6 to avoid the traffic, and the traffic is really unavoidable when you're living in the city, because there's so much construction going on with new building projects, new transit, the subway, new bridges and tunnels. The system here is very unorthodox and unorganized. So even though you're going all the way downtown to spend 8 hours on a job, you're going to look at about 2 hours in traffic each way. So you got to figure, okay, well, half your day is spent in work. To make that $800, you probably spend $300 a month just trying to get to work. So what do you have at the end of the day? $500 to spend on groceries, clothes, electric bill, utility bill, internet, cell phone, gas, oil, maintenance, clothes, rent, and everything. $500 is not going to cut it, because things aren't cheaper down here. So I never understand how people make it down here. So I still remain to be self-employed doing what I do. I do offshore business management, offshore business consulting, offshore asset management for North American clients and European clients doing business in Panama. That's really one way just to make it in Panama. There's not really many other ways to make it here, unless you're an educated professional, such as, you know, my wife is an attorney here, but still an attorney. I mean, it takes only 4 years to complete a law degree here, and there's no bar, there's no, you know, bar examination or bar association here. You just graduate and become a lawyer, but it's all about your clients. And typically a professional like that might do pretty well. $30,000 or $40,000 a year, but that's something very basic that an average person in the States will make just with a 4-year degree. If you have a professional degree like a doctor or a lawyer, then you should be making in the high 6 figures, but that's not going to happen down here. So to make a long story short, you're coming to Panama, you want to live, you fall in love. I know these people come, you know, when you fall in love with these Latinos and you, wow, life is great, I'm going to move down here. Have your shit together before you come down here. Make sure your things are in order, make sure your money's in order, make sure you know what you're going to do. Even if you hook up with one of the big companies down here, whether it be one of the technology companies like Dell or athletic companies like Adidas, there's major companies down here. Don't look for that high $50,000, $60,000 paycheck unless you really are high up there in the ladder, and then those spaces are few and far between. It would take you years to get there. Perfect your Spanish. Negotiating in Spanish language is totally different from negotiating in English language. The culture here is different. The interaction between people is totally different. Panama, great place to visit, see the sights. Panama City is an experience, a cultural experience. I prefer just to see the sights on the outskirts, to go to some of the major islands here, Bocas del Toro, San Blas. You know, you have a various few other islands, Isla Grande, Las Tablas. You know, living on the outskirts in Coronado, close to the city, is probably what you want to do if you really don't enjoy the congestion of the city so much. But just have your money in order. I mean, you know, the dry season is pretty good. The rainy season is a little bit depressing. Basically, in here, you know, it rains for 6 months and it's dry for 6 months. And I'm talking about when it rains for 6 months, it rains for 6 months, from June to December. That can become depressing. Maybe you want to go home during those 6 months and come back during the other 6 months. Riding around the city, cops are assholes. Keep your passport somewhere else, make a copy, show them the passport. They will play around with you, but ultimately they will let you go. Other than that, I mean, it's a culture shock, it's an experience. I wish I had done some research before coming down here. I kind of let go of my life in the States before I come down here. I wish I had done more research. By the time I got down here, you know, wife pregnant with kids, and it's too late to go, so I'm stuck like a motherfucker right now. So anyway, your boy is still here. You know, I'm still maintaining, I'm doing my thing, working 15 hours a day and just maintaining. But that's what it's all about here in Panama. I mean, if you have any questions, if this is somewhere that you want to come and visit, like I said, it's a great place to come and visit. Do not come during the rainy season. You will be highly pissed off. Come during the dry season and see the sights, get out of the city, go to the beach, and really experience the country. And you will. It's interesting, just like any new place, but after a while, you know, it's like there's really no place like home. And that's another thing what I wanted to say. People are talking about the economy back home and can't find a job, we can't do this, we can't do that. Try living in a Latin nation where the average payout is $800 a month, man. When you went to school for 4 years, instead of somebody giving you $800 a month and you can't buy food or clothes or housing or gas cheaper, it's all the same as in the States. And try budgeting that on $800 a month. And that's why I said, all those people out there crying about the economy in the U.S., can't do this, can't do that. Man, you live in the USA. I didn't appreciate my country so much until I came here. And I would give my right toenail to be back in the United States right now. In a major city, because at least I know I can go anywhere, even if it's to Walmart, and pull $30,000 a year. You would have to be a highly trained professional here to get $30,000 a year. So appreciate the U.S. because this corrupt ass Panama shit, the government here, there's no checks and balances. People do what the hell they want. There's no trickle down theory. And this place pretty much after a few months living here just sucks. Any other questions about this place, man, hit me up. You got my address. Just write a comment and I'll get back with you. Peace.